Hey, we're Vampire Weekend. Thank you for being here. Can I get some more vocals in the monitors?
So we're backstage at Antone's. You guys are about to go on stage. How do you compose yourselves before? Are you always aware of the surroundings you're in, or is it quite an intimidating prospect, do you think?
I think we just try and drink water, stay relaxed, laughing. I think laughing is really good for you before you go on stage. It kind of relaxes you.
I see a massive roof through the trees. I see a salty message written in the eaves. The ground beneath my feet, the hot garbage and concrete, and now the tops of buildings, I can see them too. I see a message roof through the tree. I see a salty message written in the eaves. The ground beneath my feet, the hot garbage and concrete, and now the tops of buildings, I can see them too.
What are your findings of Austin, Texas as a location for this sort of event?
We've toured through here twice before, just for our own shows, not for this. And yeah, I mean, it's a really cool city. It's definitely kind of, at least in a driving sense, it kind of pops up out of nowhere. Because Texas is a very large state. In fact, you have to drive like 10 hours west to get to the next city even.
Bigger than France, apparently.
Yeah. That's what I'm told. Yeah, I don't know. There's good barbecue and stuff.
But is it better?
I don't know, what do you like?
We call it the France of America.
Actually, I've heard Austin is Texas is California. That's what I've heard.
France is the Texas of Europe. I don't know.
The Argentines collapse in defeat. The Admiralty surveys the remnants of the fleet. The ground beneath their feet is a nautically map sheet as the night paper while it sinks away from view.
The thing that I find really exciting is that, it's a real call response atmosphere. You're trying to involve the audience. Do you feel some bands try and keep a bit of a distance and that disparages the show?
It depends. Like some people want to see a band, and some bands, what's cool about them is that they don't care and they look at the ground and they don't talk to you, and that's part of what they're doing. There's nothing wrong with it. And then some bands, like your Andrew WK's, they talk to you. And in fact, part of his show, almost every show involves like giving people hugs, and that's what people want when they go see his show, and that's great too. It's just like people like different kinds of boys and girls too. Some people like a guy who doesn't talk that much, and some people like a more touchy-feely.
What do you like?
In a guy? It depends. I don't like touchy-feely people sometimes. Well, apparently my mom told me that when I was a kid and I was in nursery school, there was some times where a lot of kids were like hugging me, maybe some sort of hug fest, and I was getting hugged a lot. And apparently I said something to her like, I didn't like that. Why were all those kids touching me?
Is this too deep? Is this too deep? Or?
No, this is cathartic. Which is not to say I don't like giving hugs or getting hugs. I guess just like most people, you want to be in control of when you're being touched. And we have laws to, I don't know.
Restrict.
Exactly.
It's gonna take a little time while you're waiting like a factory line. I'll ride across the park, backseat on 79. Wasted days, you come to pass. So go, I know you would not say it wasn't true, but anyway, pollination, yellow cat.
What is it you look for as just music fans when you look at a band?
I like a short, punchy set. I like a band where they talk. Which is why I like Andrew WK. In fact, I saw Andrew WK do this performance where
he used to be in Wolf Eyes.
Yeah. I mean, he's got legitimate noise credentials. His first thing was on Bulb Records. He did. I saw him and he was just talking. There's one part where he started singing, but it was at NYU, and he basically just had this auditorium full of people, and just came out and was like, "All right, how should we do this? You want to take some questions?" And I started to realize it was basically just an extension of his live show, even though he had no band and wasn't playing music. With him, if you're into NJWK, you're kind of into him as a person. You're into his whole personality. And in his live show, there's a lot of talking, a lot of crowd interaction, so I like that.
Very nice.
You walk up the stairs, see the French kid by the door. Take one more flight, see the food on the second floor. Coronation rickshaw grab. So go, I know you would not say it wasn't true, but anyway, racist dreams you should not have. No excuse to be so callous. Dress yourself in a bleeding mattress. Charm your way across the cardboard past. Stay awake to break the habit. Singing praise of Jackson Crowder. Watch your step along the arch.
In some ways, when we started, we had this idea of like this iconic, historical, imaginary college band, and I think we've moved kind of away from that. But that was kind of an idea that we had early on of how our live show could be.
As a party-oriented thing, like, you know, in specifically actually like a house party, and now like more clubs and different.
I think I want people to feel happy when they see us, for there to be an element of joy. I remember once, one of our early MySpace friends, I was looking at their page, and they were having this back and forth between someone else, and I looked at the guy's page, and he had this kind of like 5-part experimental noise opera or something, and they were really writing back and forth about what they thought about each other's music. I guess they were friends, and they wrote to him like, I felt like that first movement was honestly like a little boring. I think you could maybe do some things with it to, you know, make it more exciting. And then the guy wrote back like, clearly you don't understand that this is about pain and frustration, and the listener's supposed to feel pain and frustration when they're listening to it.
I wake up, my shoulders cold. I think I should leave here before I go. I pull my shirt on, walk out the door, drag my feet along the floor. I pull my shirt on, walk out the door, drag my feet along the floor. Then I see you walking across the campus, keep proof to studying romances. How am I supposed to pretend I'm never gonna see you again? How am I supposed to pretend I never wanna see you again?
And then something I couldn't buy into it with that guy. I got the impression he just wasn't trying very hard.
Walk to class in front of ya. You spill coffee on your cafe. You turn inside and look through the door. Drag your feet along the floor. And I see you. You walk across the campus. Foolproof versus studying romances. How am I supposed to pretend I'm never gonna see you again? How am I supposed to pretend I never wanna see you again?
I think there's a way you could express pain and frustration without actually inducing it in the listener.
In the afternoon, you're out on the stormy grass, and I'm sleeping on the balcony after class. In the afternoon, you're out on the stone grass, and I'm sleeping on the balcony after class.
You know, lately we've gotten a few emails from people saying like, thanks for making this album, you've helped me through a hard time. with it. None of our songs say anything in the words or in the music that says directly to you.
Go to therapy.
It's not. Yeah, but the fact that someone can feel that way, maybe even just because of the chords or the rhythm or something. That's what's nice about music, I think.
Afternoon, you're out on the stony grass, and I'm sleeping on the balcony after class.
We want to always change things. Even though we worked on this album, the idea of repeating ourselves, even from song to song, we found pointless. When we make our second album, I don't think we can even say exactly what it'll be like, but can guarantee there'll be things about it that are very different.